Have you ever prayed and asked God, why haven't you sent me my husband yet? What am I doing wrong? Are you a woman who's ambitious, career driven, successful in every area except relationships? If you fall into any of these categories, leave a purple heart in the comments because sis, I understand. I have experienced most of these categories and it is not fun. After spending almost 8 years in and out of soul draining, emotionally draining relationships, I finally learned that I was making several mistakes that kept me stuck in those same cycles. And you've probably been making some of these mistakes too. So here are 3 reasons why you keep attracting the wrong partners. Number 1 is your fear of being single. Oh my goodness, I have experienced this so much. Really, I've seen so many other people go through this. I've had several women tell me personally that they just can't be single. They have to be in a relationship with someone. There's nothing wrong with desiring a healthy relationship, but there are unhealthy ways that we often go about it. Sometimes singleness is necessary. Sometimes singleness is necessary to prune you and to help you heal and grow and develop into the woman that God wants you to be. But so many of us are running away from the process. So many people run away from the pruning process that can help you attract the man of your dreams. Personally, I didn't really struggle with this on a conscious level because every time I would get out of a relationship, I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to be single. I'm going to be single and work on myself. But here's where I messed up. Every time I would say I'm ready to be single and work on myself, I would find myself in another relationship. And for some reason, I just could never get to the point where I was fully single, fully healing, working on myself. I just kept getting in and out of relationships. And then I kept attracting the same type of relationships. You know how they say it's the same person, but with a different face? That's what I was going through. And that's what a lot of people are going through. They're just attracting the same type of person with a different face. I believe that your single season is absolutely necessary, especially if you've experienced any type of hurt, pain, trauma, abuse. If you've been in toxic, narcissistic relationships, you need time to heal from those relationships. Getting into another relationship is just putting a band-aid on the problem instead of addressing the root issues. The mindset that having a piece of a man or having a piece of a person is better than having no one at all is so destructive. And it has kept so many women in toxic, abusive situations for almost all of their lives because they thought that having a piece of a man was better than having no one at all. That's where healing with God comes in. Allow God to fill that void of loneliness so that you won't go out there and attract the wrong type of person. Number 2 is a lack of boundaries. And I believe that this is rooted in feeling like you have to prove your worth in order to be in a relationship. As women, we have to know when to say no because if we're over giving, especially in the beginning stages, we're more likely to attract people who just want to take from us instead of pour into us. You don't have to say yes to everything just to prove yourself. You are already worthy. There is nothing that you have to prove. You just have to show up and be your authentic feminine self. Ladies, I've learned that men respect you more when you have strong boundaries. There's a way to communicate your boundaries in a way that's still soft and feminine without being aggressive or standoffish. I believe that so many women fear that they're going to push a man away if they don't say yes to everything, but that's what you want. You want to push the wrong people away. The right man for you is going to respect your boundaries and then respect you even more because you have boundaries. I personally don't believe that a woman should be lending a man money, paying his bills, paying for dates, allowing a man to move in with her. No, sis. You gotta know when to say no. You gotta have boundaries because when you don't have boundaries, that's how you keep attracting the wrong partners. The Bible is full of boundaries. God has boundaries for his people, not because he doesn't want us to have fun or because he's mean, but it's because he loves us. God disciplines those he loves. He has boundaries. He has order. And we should be the same way in our dating life. Number 3, some of you are going to be a little triggered when I say this, but it is out of love, so I have to say it. And number 3 is that you are being overly shallow. When I think back to my childhood, being in middle school, high school, even in college, I've noticed that the guys who are considered the good guys, the smart guys, the guys who went to church, or the guys who would treat you right. Those were always the ones who were overlooked, the shy, quiet ones. It seems like women overlooked those type of guys and focused more on the bad boys, the guys who had a little bit more edge, and guys who played sports, for examples, the basketball players, the football players, guys who had a little bit more edge and swag about themselves. Those were the guys that the girls always wanted. But there were so many good guys who got overlooked and passed over because they were a little shorter or a little quiet, or they wore glasses, or they didn't know how to dress. Girl, I can only count the number of times I've seen so many women pass over these guys because they didn't have the bad boy persona that someone else had. Sometimes our standards can be too high, and there's nothing wrong with having high standards, but there has to be some areas of compromise. We have to have some things that we're willing to negotiate on, because no one is perfect. And if you're looking for a perfect person, you're going to spend the rest of your life looking. I'm not saying you have to settle for someone who you think is unattractive, but can you find a compromise? If you say you only date people who are 6 feet and taller, can you compromise with someone who's 5'9", 5'10"? If you're only looking to date someone who's a millionaire, do you think you could compromise with someone who makes 6 figures, or someone who's on their way to becoming a millionaire? Yeah, he may not know how to dress, but can y'all go to the mall together and you help him pick out clothes that are more suitable for him? There's a difference between you trying to build someone up and you and a person coming together to build upon a strong foundation that's already been set. Everything doesn't have to be a deal breaker. Some things should go into the negotiable category. You have to be willing to compromise on some things, because no one is going to be 100% perfect. There are so many good, honest men out here who are ready to be husbands, ready to have wives and families, but they're getting overlooked because they're a little shorter, or they can't dress, or they're not millionaires. We shouldn't overlook those guys just because we want a guy who has edge and swag. Edge and swag isn't going to last forever. That's not what you build a marriage upon. It's great to have that if that's what you desire, but that shouldn't be the basis of your foundation. If any of these things resonated with you, then leave a comment down below. And if you need any more one-on-one support in this area, I am opening up my free one-on-one discovery calls. So go ahead and book your call with me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.